So, Admiral Green Bull, or RYOKUGYU, why is he here? What is the reason that Green Bull is in WANO right now? Or, better question, what is the purpose that ODA is putting Green Bull in WANO right now? We know his reasons. He has 2 reasons for being here. But will he succeed? The thing is, ODA didn't put Green Bull in here for no reason at all. And I'm gonna get into this, but first, why not the other admirals? Why didn't Kizaru go? He wanted to go. Why didn't Fujitora go? Why didn't Akainu go? He's the strongest of them. Well, we actually have answers for that. So first, let's talk about Fujitora. The last time we saw Fujitora was in chapter 957, Ultimate. Looking at 957, we see Fujitora in the very beginning of the chapter, and he's having a conversation with Akainu. The beginning really is just them bickering about the warlords. Something that really is interesting though is the first panel. Akainu says, "You must be happy, Isho. You've always wanted the 7 warlords gone. I was against it, but I can't overrule the king's decision." Now, don't get this twisted. This apostrophe here means multiple. He's clearly talking about the Gorosei. He's not talking about Imu. Imu doesn't care about this shit. Then Fujitora responds, "You talk about necessary sacrifices to keep the warlords going? You only say such a thing because you've never been one of them." Now, I don't know if he's trying to imply that at one point Fujitora was a warlord. Who knows? That's not relevant to this right now. But Fujitora goes on to say, "Let's just put our trust in SSG to do its job. No doubt the world's power balance is about to make a major change." So for his particular knowledge, as far as he knows right now, SSG is going to change the balance of the world. The balance of the world as we know it right now is the emperors of the sea. They rule the new world. And you could technically say the Marines are the rulers of paradise, the first half of the Grand Line. Now, if Fujitora is saying this based off of his knowledge of SSG, he believes that at some point, SSG will allow the Navy to take over the New World. And the pirates would have to go back to paradise and the East Blue and all of that. But then Akainu says, speaking of unpredicted developments, over in Wano, Kaido and Big Mom are apparently going to join forces. Then we see Fujitora completely shocked by this news and sweating from it. So, in my opinion, is he doubting SSG to an Emperor Alliance? But take a look at the background. Fujitora's on a mission. He's going somewhere. Then, in response to this news that he heard from Akainu that Big Mom and Kaido were joining forces, he says, "My word! It's the return of rocks!" and is shocked by its return. Akainu responds, "You don't need to speak of it like some legend. It's all reality. And at a time when we're too busy to do anything else, it's just the latest disaster." So that's the end of their conversation, and that's the end of the most recent interaction that we've had with Fujitora. But Akainu says it's just the latest disaster, meaning stuff is going on in the One Piece world right now. We only don't know about what's happening because Wano is closed off. So that was the last time we saw Fujitora. He was deployed on an unknown mission almost 100 chapters ago. Moving on to Kizaru. The last time we saw Kizaru is in chapter 907. In chapter 907, Navy headquarters gets information that Big Mom is on the move. She's going to make contact with Kaido. Then, at the bottom of that page, we see Kizaru and Akainu having a conversation, a very brief conversation. Kizaru asks, "Shall I head out, Sakazuki?" Akainu responds, "No, Barcelino. Remember, there's an unknown military force in Wano." Kizaru then replies, "The samurai, you mean?" And that's it. That's the last time we saw Kizaru. He was at Navy headquarters and he offered to go, but Akainu said no. They had no information on Wano's military force. And the last admiral is Akainu, and he's Fleet Admiral. as he said, there's too many things going on right now for him to go to WANO, so he's easily dismissed. But let's go back to that conversation that he's having with Kizaru. He says, remember, there's an unknown military force in WANO. The samurai, you mean? If we go back and reread the last 2 chapters of One Piece, which would be 1053 and 1052. Let's start with 1052. In chapter 1052, the Gorosei are yet again having another conversation, but they're confirming to a Marine that Zoe is gone. Marine says, yes sir, it just slipped away into the mist. So what was it doing? Then one of the members of the Gorosei says, then they are not opening up the country. WANO will remain an impregnable fortress, it seems. They must have changed tactics in response to the situation. Someone over there is very shrewd. Now there's no means of sending in a major force to occupy the nation. But you will at least bring back Nico Robin, yes? CP0 says, without fail. So Sunflower Dude from CP0 is still in WANO, and he's tasked to retrieve Nico Robin. So, going back to Green Bull, the first thing that we see is that he's being asked via transponder snail, I asked where you are right now. He responds, I already told you, Sakazuki. I'm in the air. So he's talking to Akainu. And Akainu says, in the air where? Green Bull responds, oh, I can see WANO up ahead. Akainu then responds, don't you dare make things any worse. Got that, RYOKUGYU? And Green Bull says, I know, geez. So, if we put these pieces of information together, Kizaru was last seen at Navy headquarters with Akainu. He offered to go, but he said no. Fujitora is deployed on a mission somewhere else. He's not going to WANO. Akainu's too busy. So we have confirmation, or at least the last thing that we know, is that we have one readily available admiral at headquarters, which is Kizaru, and we have one deployed to WANO. Akainu is on the phone or on the transponder snail with Green Bull saying, don't make things any worse. So he's not supposed to engage right now. Then in chapter 1053, we see pretty much all of Udon prison is mummified, basically. Impaled and mummified by roots. King and Queen are in a pinch right now, and Green Bull is quite literally stomping on them and talking shit at the same time. But what's important is that he says the Navy doesn't have any manpower to send around performing cleanup. This leads me to believe that he was originally sent there to survey the country, see what type of military power they were, and if they needed, then they could back him up with another admiral, Kizaru. That seems to be what the Navy's plan was, for him to be there, or at least Akainu's plan for deploying Green Bull in WANO. He goes on to say, send me a battleship, and don't you dare squeal to Sakazuki, got it? Bye. And then he's talking to himself. He says, I love that guy's cut no corners attitude. I want to hear him say, you did good, when I bring him this kid's head. Brahaha. Okay, that's all the information that we have as far as to why Green Bull is here. Akainu deployed him on a mission to survey WANO's military, to check him out and to see if they would still be able to occupy the country regardless of the borders being opened or closed. That's what I think is going on. But Green Bull himself has his own personal mission to try to capture Luffy. Here's the thing, he could try to assist the CP0 agents in capturing Nico Robin, or he could try to capture Luffy. But the thing is, I do not believe that Oda is going to have a repeat of the Water 7 arc. Why are we gonna have to save Robin again? Why go through this entire journey and growth just for us to be in the same situation where Robin's caught up by the government? So no, CP0 will fail and they're not gonna capture Robin. Now, this single admiral is not capturing Luffy by himself. He is not taking on the entire forces of WANO, plus Law's crew, plus Kid's crew, and Luffy and his entire crew, and succeeding. That's not happening. So The two things that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the two reasons as to why he could be in WANO, will be a failure. He is not going to capture Robin. He's not going to capture Luffy. So what's the only other thing that he could be here for? As far as why Oda would put him in WANO. If he's going to fail his mission with Luffy, and if they're not going to capture Robin, why is Green Bull here? Well, we have confirmation. Pluton is here in WANO. If they fail at capturing Robin, and if they fail at capturing Luffy, the only thing that they would be able to succeed in is perhaps getting the ancient weapon Pluton. That would be devastating for all pirates of the world. But that's also lead up to the Great War that we're about to get into. If the world's government has SSG and an ancient weapon, the pirates are gonna have to find a way to fight back. Come in Frankie. Everyone thinks Frankie has something to do with Pluton still. I think he does. Everyone. Either he has the blueprint still, he incorporated some of the designs into the Sunny. I personally think it's gonna be a docking situation, just because he always does docking. Back in Thriller Bark, he did the first docking, then post time skip, it was the Frankie General or the Iron Pirate. That's a docking process of the tank and the motorcycle. I think Pluton, Frankie's version of Pluton, is going to be the Sunny docked onto something else he has to make. And I was thinking the Kaido killing weapons would have been that second half of Pluton that the Sunny would need to complete Pluton, but we haven't seen what those Kaido killing weapons were. And if not Pluton, we have to find Uranus then. The pirates have to find a way to fight back. And Shirahoshi and the Sea Kings are not enough. I don't know, I just feel like the Marines and the Navy, they have to succeed in something in WANO. Because what's the fucking point? If they're gonna fail in capturing Robin, if they're gonna fail in capturing Luffy, they don't get Pluton, they lost a member of CP0, what was the point? So it makes me believe that they're gonna get Pluton, and then the pirates will have to find a way to fight back. I'm just not certain on if Luffy himself will command an ancient weapon or even the Straw Hats, besides like Pluton's like second half or whatever is going on with Frankie. But like Uranus, for an example. I don't think Luffy will command Uranus. What I personally think is Dragon and the Revolutionary Army will be the ones to command Uranus. It also would lead into Luffy finally meeting him. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Green Bull and why he's in WANO right now, why the other admirals aren't there, and it just makes sense to me that the Marines won't go empty-handed, but we're not going to get a repeat of Water 7. So we're not going to have to go on a rescue mission for either Robin or Luffy. However, if they do find Pluton and retrieve Pluton, that is very dangerous. But those are my overall thoughts on why Green Bull is here. If you like this idea, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.